What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Crimo. This is episode number 25, and as we look at the league table, we're sat in 7th now. We're in a tight battle for those European spots. We are a few points off Chelsea now. They're 5 points adrift, 3 points behind United, but it's a tight battle in there. As we head into today's first game, Brentford away, they are sat bottom, 2 wins, 2 draws, 15 defeats for the Bees. It's looking bleak already, and we're not even in the new year yet. But saying that, there is no room for complacency as we head into today's game. 2 changes, both fullbacks, Richards and Cash, come in. We lost both these league fixtures last season against Brentford. We lost 3-1 at home, and then later on in the season we lost 3-2 away. We did beat them in the Carabao Cup though, all the way back in episode 2, which was actually the first episode where we had matches. We beat them in the Carabao Cup, but yeah, so 3 games played against Brentford last season. This is the first one this season. Well, it would start off very strongly against the bottom side. Lingard, rewarded with a new contract this week. He responds by scoring his second league goal this season, a great effort from the edge of the box. The Brentford keeper made a couple of nice saves before we would make it 2-0. Brennan Johnson, great goal this, one-touch pass involving most of the attackers, and then Taiwo finds Johnson, who finishes calmly. And then they don't do this often, but I really like this. The AI obviously not happy with how the team's performing, make a first half substitute. Very rare that happens. Obviously quite an embarrassing moment for the player that got subbed to get subbed off before half time. I remember the last time it happened was Man United, I think, one of the games we played against Man United last season. But yeah, really cool to see that feature as Thomas Frank looks to change it up for the Bees. We would go 3-0 up. Johnson again, Syangov released down the right, and with the freedom of West London in front of him, the Ukrainian picks up Brennan Johnson, the striker bags his second of the game, our third. Brentford would make it 3-1 just on the stroke half time. Charlie Good's header reduced the deficit to 2, but we would restore that gap back up to 3 15 minutes into the second half. Brentford actually started the second half really well. They were on top. They smelt blood. That goal at the end of the first half really gave them a bit of life. Henderson we had to thank for keeping the game at 3-1, and then Johnson would get his hat-trick. One of Henderson's saves, we go down the other end, and Johnson bags the hattie. Then from then on, we just dominated the game. That really killed the Bees' momentum. Brereton Diaz had a couple of chances, hit the post, and then after Niakate made a couple of good tackles, Diaz had a really good chance, but the Chilean fired over. And then with just over 5 minutes to go, Lingard, who started the scoring, ends it. A great finish, emphatically putting it in, bar down, and that would be it. Full time, we would beat Brentford 5-1. A good win against a struggling side. Obviously, I'm not really happy to concede the goal, but emphatic finish. We've scored the most goals in the league. I'm pretty sure Brentford had conceded the most, so it seemed like a foregone conclusion already. That was Brennan Johnson's second hat-trick in 8 league games after he got the hat-trick against Burnley. That game, incidentally, was the last time we won back-to-back games. We've been really inconsistent recently. Our last 7 have been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. You need more consistency if you're going to push for European places, and I know that, the players know that, so hopefully we can get a bit more consistent. And what better way to do it against the second bottom place team, Aston Villa, in this next game. Head into the City ground. We play Aston Villa, which rounds off the busy month of December. Free changes to the side that thumped Brentford just 4 days ago. Williams and Pro back in, whilst Nelson gets a start in central attacking mid. I love this as well. You may have noticed in the lineup, Aston Villa have signed Nico Williams from Athletic Bilbao. We now have 2 Nico Williams on the pitch, including our right back, the Welshman Nico Williams. I actually really like the Spaniard Nico Williams. I think he's a really good player. Obviously known him from our realistic career mode last season with Atletico Bilbao. We may look to pick him up if Villa get relegated. We might be able to get him on a cheap. He will be a class player. But anyway, this is our first fixture in the second half of the season. We beat Villa at Villa Park 3-0 earlier in October. Also, a notable mention in the lineup, this would be Remo Freuler's last game. He obviously is on his way to Spain. Atletico Madrid are signing him in January, so this will be his last game. And, well, he got denied a goal, but he would not be denied a second time. Freuler with an absolute worldie touch, and then it bounces up perfectly. He smashes it over the keeper, and he gives us a 1-0 lead. On the stroke of half-time, Villa would equalise, though Ben Yedder had his passing boots on today, and he finds another neat ball, this time to Danny Ings, and the English forward scores. Into the second half, normal duty resumed as we dominated the game. Taiwo with a rare absolute stinker. He went through on goal and he ballooned a shot over, but he would not be denied a second time. He makes it 2-1 with a great finish, and then we almost make it 3-1. Brennan Johnson hitting the post before he then hits the bar. Double woodwork hit, and Woodwee-Roo missing those chances. Well, into the last 10 minutes, Henderson is called up to action once again. A couple great saves, and then Villa, from that resulting corner though, would equalise. Ben Yedder getting his head to the ball and equalising for the Villains. We would have a couple chances to win the game, actually. Brereton Diaz, as soon as I shot this from the edge of the box, I saw Gibbs White and I knew I should have passed it. He would have just had an empty net to tap into. I made the wrong decision, and ultimately that would end the game. We would draw 2-2, a rare draw for us actually, just our third in 21 league games. It does break the win-loss cycle, I guess, but definitely 2 points dropped here. Villa second bottom, struggling in the league. We could have had back-to-back wins against Brentford and Villa, would have been a really nice double, but 2 points dropped, and we move on as the January transfer window opens and we see plenty of movement. Drager leaving to Celtic on a permanent deal, whilst Wright goes to Ibiza on loan. Noble, Swan, Palmer and Mighton also leave on loan. Remo Freuler, the Swiss international, has been quality for us in a season and a half, but bigger opportunities lay await for him. Atletico Madrid, the one-time Spanish league champions, playing in the Champions League, came in for an offer. We got a good amount of money out of them for the 31-year-old. He's off to Spain. He's played his last game for us, got a goal against Villa, got subbed off and around, a standing ovation from the home fans, but he is moved on. We now have a £40 million budget, which the board wants us to spend all of it, by the way, before the end of the season. We need a replacement for Freuler. Well, we had a few months to think about it after Freuler's deal went through in the summer, but we would have him for a few more months. I looked at different options before landing on this guy, Maxime Lopez, the French centre mid. Now at Hoffenheim, once of Marseille and Sassuolo. He's 26, in his prime, 81 rated, but I think he can grow. He might be a little bit smaller than I would have liked for a centre mid at 5'6". However, his stats look fantastic, and I think he'll offer us a lot going forward. The Hoffenheim boss wanted Nico Williams plus a little bit of cash, not a right back, a bit of money, but we just went in with a straight money offer and matched his £24 million valuation. The Hoffenheim representative accepted, and we sat down with Lopez to agree a 4-year deal earning $42k a week plus some other bonuses as well. Very happy with this signing. I think Lopez is an improvement from Freuler. With our midfield too, Mangala offers that holding role, whilst Lopez has a bit of freedom to move forward. So I'm very happy with Lopez. I think he'll give us a lot going forward. We give him the number 26 as well. We reject a couple of bids, one from Nice for Nico Williams and then Inter Milan for Taiwo. He is staying with us until at least the summer. I won't release him in January. And then, well, we just signed a ball-playing midfielder, forward-thinking midfielder in Lopez, but I had my eye on another one. Obviously, when players are going out of contract, they're going to be up for available for a free transfer in the summer. You can start negotiating contracts with them in January. And Tanguy Ndombele going on a free from Tottenham, I snapped him up. We signed a pre-contract for him. He's going to be joining us in the summer for free. He's received a lot of criticism for his work rate, but he oozes class, and I just think he'll be a brilliant addition to us. He's got European pedigree, he's got plenty of European experience, which is where we're hoping to play next season. We want to play in Europe, so we're going to need that squad depth as well. I'm very happy to bring in Tanguy Ndombele in the summer. Well, as we head into the third and final game of the episode, it is the big one. Carabao Cup semi-final, first leg, Leeds United away at Elland Road. Yes, one of these two teams, Nottingham Forest or Leeds, will play Chelsea or Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. A proper underdog story. Oh God, we only just made it through to the semi-finals after beating Everton on penalties after a late equaliser from Freuler in the last episode. Well, we are now in the semi-finals and we face Leeds, a team that we are actually unbeaten in the save against. 1 win, 2 draws, 0 defeats. We did beat them in a 5-4 thriller just a couple of episodes ago, scoring twice late on. Taiwo bagging 4. Leeds were proper on it today. Jamal Lascelles, one of the players to come into the side. Yates Mangala also come in, and Maxime Lopez made his debut as well. Lascelles was caught on the ball, and Leeds would make it 1-0. Marcus Thuram with a nice finish before Taiwo would equalise. And then Leeds were just peppering us. Daniel James, the Welsh wizard, had a really, really good chance to make it 2-1. He missed it. Henderson had to make a good couple of saves. We made a couple of good blocks as well. And then Maxime Lopez with the beauty of a through ball to Brennan Johnson. And just before half time, we took an undeserved lead, I'll be honest. And the Welshman finishes, showing his fellow countryman, Daniel James, how it's done. Well, that was 5 minutes before half time. I thought, okay, going into half time with an undeserved lead, but we'll take it. We almost went into the half 3-2 down. Leeds equalise. Aronson was denied earlier in the game. He would not be denied again. He scored to make it 2-2. And then 3 minutes into injury time in the first half, we gave the ball away. Turnover from Lingard. A through ball played into Thuram, but Niakate with an unreal stretch and tackle tips the ball away, and he stops the chance going to Leeds. In the second half, there weren't many chances. Both sides had a couple late on. Taiwo with a great effort. And then this. Oh my God, you cannot make this stuff up. Maxime Lopez, assisted with the equaliser, gets an injury time winner. He only signed with the club a couple days ago, but he is already a folk hero, and look at the fans going mad. Yes, Maxime Lopez, welcome to Nottingham. We play the ball around in the box. Brereton Diaz finds Sayankov, who lays off to Lopez, and yes, Meslier gets a big strong hand to the shot. It trickles over the line. And Lopez gives us a huge chance now of going through to the Carabao Cup final. We will take a 3-2 lead back to the City ground in a couple episodes' time as we look to book our place into a first final in the save. Another topsy-turvy game against Leeds. There's always goals when we play this side, and I'm sure there'll be goals again in the second leg. Very happy with that victory. Leeds were really good that game, I'll be honest. Henderson came up with a few huge saves. He's been massive for us this season. And yeah, we're now 90 minutes away from Wembley. Obviously, absolutely love that. As we look at a few more offers, we rejected a 2-year loan deal for Mangala. A weird one that. I don't really know why we would send him out on loan. We also rejected an offer from Roma for Farmer. Mangala speaks to us, and he seems to say, look boss, I'm kind of worried now that you've brought Lopez in. He's obviously threatened by his position, but Mangala, we reassure him he is on our plans for this season at least. Harry Arter says he wants some game time. This is his final season as a footballer. He is over 59 rated now, so it's going to be hard to find him some game time. Hopefully maybe in an FA Cup game coming up in the new year. We'll see. And then Brennan Johnson saying that he's very happy as well. I'm very happy with him. As we look at the result in the other semi-final, Liverpool battered Chelsea 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. That tie looks done and dusted. Well, that will be it for today's episode. Episode 25. I can't believe we're all the way through 100 already. It's crazy. Drop it a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you in episode 26 very soon.